This is the War Brief Daily for April 14, 2026, covering the Russia-Ukraine theater. Tonight we are tracking three major developments. Russia's drone campaign resumes immediately after its own Easter ceasefire expires, and a 340-night strike streak re-engages within hours. Second, Ukraine's prosecutor general releases confirmed footage of 4 Ukrainian prisoners of war executed during the ceasefire window. And third, the frontline picture in Donetsk and Zaporizhia, where Russia is burning through elite strategic reserves to hold an overextended line. First, the ceasefire collapse. Russia declared a unilateral 32-hour Orthodox Easter truce beginning April 11. That window closed, and the response was immediate. This is confirmed from the Ukrainian Air Force. Russia launched 98 drones overnight April 12th into 13, the first major wave post-ceasefire. Ukrainian air defenses downed 87 of those 98, an 89% intercept rate. During the ceasefire itself, the Ukrainian General Staff reported 2,299 Russian violations by the morning of April 12th. Russia's Ministry of Defense counterclaimed 1,971 Ukrainian violations. Both figures come from official government statements. The mutual finger-pointing is confirmed on both sides. What is also confirmed and historically significant is that the night of April 11th to 12th was the first night since May 10th, 2025 that Russia launched 0 long-range drones, missiles, or glide bombs. That is roughly 340 consecutive nights of strategic bombardment paused for one night, then resumed. Zelensky has formally proposed a longer ceasefire. As of this brief, Russia has not responded. Second, confirmed war crime. This is documented. Ukraine's prosecutor general published footage on April 12 showing Russian forces executing 4 Ukrainian prisoners of war near Veterinarne, north of Kharkiv city. The assault began after 1400 on April 11. Russian forces seized Ukrainian positions. After 1600, after the ceasefire was in effect, unarmed Ukrainian service members were shot. ISW assessed in its April 12 report that Russian military command is endorsing and in some cases ordering POW executions on the battlefield. The timing inside the ceasefire window and the existence of published footage make this one of the most documented incidents of its kind in recent months. Expect continued international pressure and potential ICC referrals. Third, the frontline picture. In Donetsk, geolocated footage confirmed by ISW shows Ukrainian forces advanced west of Stupochki and inside eastern Kostiantynivka. Russian infiltration attempts on April 8, 10, and 11 produced no confirmed terrain gains. Ukrainian lines are holding. In western Zaporizhia, analyst Konstantin Mashovets assessed that Russia's 58th Combined Arms Army is overextended across a roughly 50-kilometer front, unable to concentrate sufficient force to push toward Zaporizhia city or support operations near Orikhiv simultaneously. Moscow's response has been to deploy elements of the 7th and 76th VDV airborne divisions to plug that gap. These are elite strategic reserve formations designed for offensive shock operations, not defensive line filling. Using them this way signals Russia is running thinner in depth than its public posture suggests. Additionally, the Ukrainian partisan network Atesh confirmed destroying a Russian locomotive near Likhovskaya station in Rostov Oblast, a key logistics node for Russian resupply into Zaporizhia. Atesh assessed Russia is approaching the limit of its locomotive replacement capacity. Here's what to watch over the next cycle. Monitor for a large wave Shahed or cruise missile surge in the next 24 to 48 hours. Ceasefire pauses have historically preceded strategic strike surges. Watch ISW's assessments for confirmation of the Kostiantynivka Ukrainian advance. Track the Zaporizhia salient closely. Russian overextension and VDV reserve commitment is a pressure point Ukraine Ukraine may move to exploit. And watch for any Russian response to Zelensky's ceasefire extension proposal. That is your War Brief Daily for April 14th, 2026.